Hello everybody, Reaper X1 here again, back playing some more Terra Tech in the R&D of 0.7.4.3. Hey, that rhymed, that's pretty cool. Nice. So how's it going everybody? Hope you're having a good one. Welcome back to my little channel here. I do thank you for joining me. Now you might be wondering what I'm doing here. It looks like I'm floundering around like a sick in the head kind of thingy. I was having a heck of a time flying my new little plane. This little plane, it's actually a result of a proposed challenge to make a plane or a flyer that only used one Hawkeye rotor fan. So that's what I attempted to do, and that's what I did. And it was working all great until I tried to attack something. And I even set defenseless pretty much, except for melee weapons kind of enemies. And I still had to resort to this guy. But it worked out alright in the end. I got a new little plane. He's kind of fun to fly around in. He's really responsive. Like, if you want to do tricks, he's alright. He's pretty good, I'd have to say. But, you know, I got kind of away from my little, my normal startup. I don't know, maybe some people will be happy. Hint. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, if you do happen to like what you are seeing, you know what to do. Fuel up the channel. If you don't know what that is, hey, likes, comments, subscriptions, dinging of the bell, all that awesome stuff. The Terra Showcase is another awesome way. And if you do have a few bucks to spare, there's always that paypal.me link. You can all be found down in the description of every video. But the nice thing with that donation there, the little $2 donation, that can lead to you being entered into draw for a 3D printed tech that is currently valued at 40 bucks. So, you know, it's all down there. And if you do have any questions, you know, hit me up in the comments. I'll reply as fast as I can. You know, I hope we can all have a ton of fun in the process. Just trying to make things better. But, you know, what makes the world go around. So seeing as this little guy was an aerial success, I figured, you know, hey, why not throw some guns on him? Or missiles, to put it more precisely. Because what's better than a nice little scout? A little attack scout. Nah, that's what's better. Oh yeah, get out there and do a little damage. You know, in theory, in a perfect world, in a perfect Terra Tech world, we could have our little AI guys coming in behind us. Maybe even flying AI guys that follow us, our little AI helpers, and they come in and kind of as you lead the way. That would be frickin' sweet. That's what I'm hoping for someday. Someday, over the rainbow. Oh no, that's somewhere. Never mind. Got my song screwed up. But as you can see, he's not too shabby. He's a light hitter. Doesn't do too much. But then I did have another build suggestion for the NCC starships. And well, after a little, see, I'm not a really big Star Trek follower. I do like the series. I've watched a bunch of the shows, the movies, and all that over the years. But I didn't really know what it was, so I did a little research, and it turns out it's like the Enterprise. And then as soon as I seen that, it clicked. It was like, oh yeah, NCC. Yeah, I remember seeing that on the ship. Jesus, why didn't I clue in? So I actually got a Saturday show, or a Terra Showcase coming up from a fellow techologist, and he's made a really nice one. And since I'm already kind of working on a few big things, I thought, you know what, hey, it'd be kind of fun just to make a little guy, just a little tiny one. So that's what I did. And as you can see, it kind of flounders around. It does the same little flopping thing. It actually has a little dolphin kind of action to it, where it does the up and down. I think that's mainly because of the hover pads I used underneath, just to keep the head off the ground while I'm trying to take off. Because, you know, those Hawkeye rockets, they got some power to them, and when you put them up a little over center, and you got some high, or some elevated weight, ooh, she wanted to tip real quick. But see, right there, I bet you I could keep this thing in the air for just about ever if I really wanted to. If I come into any enemies, though, yeah, they'd pick me apart pretty quick. But I figured, you know, let's get into something. kind of speed things along here. Don't want to take 6 days to do all this. So, you know, we got to do what we got to do. So now it's time to see how we fare against some enemies. We'll do our little dolphin routine here. Oh, we're getting a couple. Like, look at that. It's actually laying down some damage. Oh, got a rocket. Crap. No, I'm going down. Going down. Help me. Help me. The captain will go down with his ship, firing missiles at the closest enemies. Haha. Take that. And that. Oh, I still got one jet. One rocket I can boost. Oh, took it off. Dang it. Uh-oh, I think we might... Oh, no, still... Oh, that one hurt. Yep, tickled me right to the core. That ain't gonna happen. No happy endings on that one. Well, I guess that's about what that is. Yeah, I called it Star Wreck, because it isn't very pretty. Oh, I'm just kind of doing the face slide here, but I'm getting through all the danger. Whew. Yeah, I think I lost a few things, but that's alright. That's acceptable. See if I can turn around here and do some good. Or some bad. Maybe even a little evil. Evil. Shoot him. Oh, you missed him. Huh. See, this one thing I'm not too sure, but I think I heard of maybe there's been an increase or a change in the chance of a miss for the missile hits. Which, ouch. That hurts. But then from there, you know, had to move on. Get into something different. And this here, I was asked about a compact mobile base that could collect, refine, sell, and generate power with only the use of resources. No scrapping, no nothing like that, of course. So I kind of set out and I was like, yeah, you know, I'll give that a try. It's been a while since I've done anything like that. I'll see how small I can maybe make them. Well, this would be my very first design at it. And I got thinking, well, when I originally replied to the comment, I did kind of throw the tip out there about starting with maybe even a medium silo, as they got like 40 resource chunks capacity, so they're a really good storage unit. And then you can work off of that to add all the options you want. So like if you want to be able to generate power, right on. If you want to have a refinery, right on. I always like to have the refinery first, but it's not like a necessary thing. You could do it after, especially for fuels. If you didn't really care about the money, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about refining that. So that could save you some time on power generation. But then I wanted to get a little more into the capacity of things. Now this isn't really big. Now I know there's some experimental stuff on here, but you could do it without even the Hawkeye treads. You could do it without the experimental drills. You could probably do this around grade 2 or grade 3 of GSO. Oh, no, maybe not. Depending on how far you gotta get the Venture Mobile Refinery, I guess. That'd be the, I think the most, oh no, the mobile generator. Yeah, so you might have to max out for something like this. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, as you can see, this thing can hold a heck of a lot. And if you had something more than just wood in your silos, woohoo, you are good to go for quite a while. And then you couple that with this is just bare bones kind of junk. As far as the weaponry, you could have this in quite a size tech with a ton of battery. Oh, flip me. Dang it. Almost turtled me. But yeah, you could have a ton of batteries to back all this up, shielded and guarded and weaponized, and holy, you could lay waste to a world with something like that. Just think if it was oleite. All that nice glowing red just floating around there, all refined and such. Oh, it would be sweet. That's usually what I try and do. I hunt for one of them and then I go and harvest it. But ever since they changed and they added the auto miner, I don't know, it's been a lot harder to find the really good ones because they sparkle. Okay, like the sparkle's cool and all that, but can we still have the little stripe? The stripe was pretty sweet in itself, you know, I could see that from a ways off. Because it's been a heck of a long time with that resource radar in the works, and well, you know what I'm saying. It's not really needed if we got them stripes, because they're visible from a ways. And it's not such a game affecting change to have just the sparkle edition. Just my thoughts. But you know, you do kind of have to test these little harvesters out, even if they are bare bones, eh? So I'm going to go after probably one of the easier targets. Just kind of chew them up. Yum, 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 yum. Just like the Cookie Monster. It is kind of like a big cookie, really. It's a colorful cookie. Get over it. There we are. It's one thing I like about these articulating drills is they can actually clamp down almost on stuff that's on the ground, and like, look at that, just crushing on them. Boom! Haha! I got you. That is pretty sweet. I'm liking that. So yeah, I set out to see how compact I could get, and I'm kind of thinking this little guy, he might be about the smallest to have a refinery in. You could do it without a refinery, and then you could save that much more space. But you have no storage. You gotta stay on the ball with your resources. Like, just to give you an idea, let's tear this all down. We'll get her down to, see if we can get her to a bare minimum. And you'll see just how small you can have it. And actually, I might not, because I always like to have the filter in there, because when you are dealing with this, you're going to harvest a ton of trees, and you're going to want that filter. Because then it can sell off all the sap you're going to get. But then if you really want, that's how small it can be. Expect gem ups. It could happen. But don't expect to have battery power the whole time either, because you sell so much so fast, because you have no storage, that it really takes you down a whack. So you gotta like be super on the ball. So yeah, small is fine, but it has its limitations. I would say a silo, at least a small silo where it holds 10, is a minimum if you want to charge batteries. Because then at least then you get 10 chunks of wood in there. That'll do something for you. You head into a battle with a full charge and a load of 10 chunks of wood, you should be able to do at least a little bit. Not saying you're going to do exceptionally great, but you should be able to at least land a few shots. And if you got some heavy weapons on it, wow, you're just going to do better. So, you know, little things to think about. These are always the kind of builds that get me thinking, because I always like to keep things as small as possible when it comes to the base stuff, and convenient and organized, and is even cool looking if I can pull it off. So then I can concentrate on all the other space being used on the rest of the tech, the weaponry, the overall look, the shape, the effect. Maybe things that move. Like a monster I'm currently working on way in the secret backgrounds. No one's even really seen too much of it. There's only been a few sneak peeks of that one. And that was a while ago. It has come quite a ways. But still, so far to get to the finish. But as you can see, even just a couple little drills, a few small lasers, and you can be out there zapping trees, charging everything. And hey, if you put a wireless charger on this, you could even help out your buddies. So if this guy had an AI thing on top of it, and he followed you all over the place doing his cool stuff, you know, that would be pretty slick. But yeah, you would want the silo for that, especially, because then you load them up, get a medium silo. Oh. And if you wanted them a little bigger, you know, you can go for the big maximum, lots of mixed silo, whatever I think it's called. Get 90 chunks of some good fuel resources, have him charging and him charging you. Oh, handy as hell at having battle. That's what I'm waiting for, is when the AI is like flawless. Because then my little buddies will come and follow me, and we will reign supreme. Because by then, I'm hoping that the game can handle at least 2 to 3 AI buddies of about 15 by 15 by 15. That's a rough, not a block. I don't really care for the cube kind of builds. That's why I don't like some of the challenges, but I like entering them. It's still fun. But to have 2 or 3 of those guys following me around, plus my tech, which could be holy crap huge, and then run smoothly even when I get around a massive holy crap limit breaking base, because it's, ooh, ouch, because it's 6 techs put into one. You know, when it can run that smooth, oh man, the insanity that we will be able to build. I tell you, it will be freaking awesome. But them's the days I look forward to, because I think they can do it, and I'm just waiting. Oh wow, it took me out really just ruthlessly on that one. Oh, maybe I'm not dead yet, but I'm pretty. There we go. Just to make things for sure. But as I'm kind of just running these guys over here, doing their little fine little tests, and let's see how this guy makes out. But as I do so, I am going to just kind of wrap this one up. So as always, you know, I would like to thank you again for joining me. And always remember that all the support and awesome that you guys do bring with you, it always is appreciated and never stop being appreciated. I do thank you, because you guys have made my experience with YouTube so much greater than I ever thought it could be. That's why I says it. And you know, if you did like what you have saw, and you know, you feel like fueling up the little channel some more, you know, it's not too hard. A push of a button on a blue thumb. You know, a couple comments if you got them. Even if you just want to say hello, it'd be awesome to hear from you. You know, if you got a subscription that you haven't made yet, ding the bell with that. Or if you want to enter the Saturday Showcase, you know, the link's down in the description. Or if you got a couple bucks you'd like to donate, you could get entered in a draw to be the new owner or possible new owner of a 3D printed tech. It's all down in the description. So with that, I'm going to leave you with a new intro/outro that was made by a viewer. It's done pretty good. I pieced it together a little bit. But until next time, everybody, keep being the awesome and keep having a good one. Bye.